Hey there guys, GutsLove here and welcome to my channel. Oh, Japan. Japan, Japan, Japan. The creator of anime, the creator of manga, and also the creator of weird stuff that I will not talk about. We will love your work and we will keep on loving it until the end of time. But here's a question. Which anime franchise or any Japanese franchise do you think about when someone utters the word Japan? Digimon? It's a little bit redundant and I already lost track. Sailor Moon? Too many Sailor Scouts, I'm sorry. Dragon Ball Z? Freaking overrated. Am I clear? Okay. Let's get this over with.
I will travel across the land, searching far and wide.
Oh, Pokémon, the ever-tilting franchise, Gen 1ers complaining and people questioning whether or not it has overstayed its welcome, while others keep the franchise strong and everlasting with every generation. But let's focus on the thing that people think the most with this franchise, the Pokémon themselves. Now let me point this out. These lists were made before Gen 6. Since their release, X and Y will not influence these lists. There will be no changes, no add-ons, maybe a few mentions, but overall, these lists stay intact. I originally wanted to record and edit these videos and post them on YouTube before X and Y were released, but school and life got in the way, and so without further ado, I'm gonna release these videos right now. There will be a few details I'll be taking into account when choosing my top 10. The design, typing, background, my overall liking of the Pokemon, and extra points if it was on my team. I'm not into competitive battling or choosing natures or IVs, EV training, whatever. I play these games because I like Pokemon. I really love it. I love the franchise ever since I was a little kid when Yellow, Red, and Blue came out. I play Pokemon for the story and for the fun of it. With these lists, I will be taking into account 3 extra rules. Number 1, only 10 legendaries in total for these lists. Having too many legendaries on my lists will take away a lot of space. So it's gonna be only 10 legendaries maximum in all of the lists. Maybe the 6th generation, I'm not sure. I'm gonna take into account that later on. Number 2, a limit of only 5 Pokemon of the same evolutionary line but belong in different generations. So no, oh I like Scyther in Generation 1 but I like Scizor in Generation 2, so I'm gonna add them too. No tricks. Number 3, this is my list, okay? This is my opinion. If you have whatever Pokemon that you wanted to be on my list, well, tough luck. They weren't my favorite, so they're not in the list. Without any more distractions, let us begin. Red or blue or even yellow when you were a kid, you always want powerhouses on your team. This generation only gave us about 6 legendaries. And so, as a kid, you want those legendaries to beat the other kids in your playground. Since I had no idea how to capture the other legendary Pokemon, I decided to capture the one that it was located on Seafoam Islands. With wings made of ice that help out people doomed to die in a blizzard, which makes it quite odd since snow falls whenever it flaps its wings. I always liked Articuno. Despite its weaknesses against rock or fire, it was the strongest ice type of its generation. I wanted to ride this creature into battle, freezing my enemies where they stood. Whenever I got the Pokeflute in Pokemon Snap, I always sped up in the cave to get to the egg that held Articuno and just played a little tune. I always took a buttload of pictures of this gorgeous creature. Articuno was in my team in Crystal because back in the day, I was a stupid kid who didn't understand the typing that well. It was just having powerhouses all around so I can win. At least Articuno helped me defeat Lance in Crystal. So, yeah. Japanese folklore is full of nine-tailed foxes. Yeah, I'm not gonna make a joke. While it looks fabulous, it's downright weird. It can sense when a trainer is cruel or just being a bastard. It can understand human speech, and its 9 tails are rumored to curse anyone who touches them, since they are, you know, the 9 mages who merge together with their sacred powers.
Do you mind if I touch it? Brush it, please?
I'm just saying it, that's what the Pokédex said, okay? This bit of info is used in the mystery dungeon games, which makes 9 tails pretty cool but also too mystical, like a wizard or something.
You're a wizard, Harry.
I'm a what?
This mystical Pokemon can control your mind by just looking at you with its bright eyes. It's sort of like if it were using Will-O-Wisp at you and burning you alive. Almost without you knowing. Jeez, that got dark. Remember Sabrina?
Go, Cadabra. Well, are you ready yet?
Yeah, she was a freaky bitch. At least Haunter stopped that shit. Until it licks anyone. Making them shudder and stealing their life force away until they die. Ah, crap. But at least it's still cool and funny in the anime. He and the other 2 ghost types of its evolutionary branch just wanted to have fun, since, you know, they scare people off and don't want to kill people. Doesn't that contradict your Pokédex entry or something? But anyway, I prefer a fun ghost than a killing ghost. Next number. Who here doesn't like Lapras? This fairy Pokemon was the lovable companion and transportation of dear old Ash and Space Boat in Mystery Dungeon. Before the anime even introduced this Pokemon, I really liked Lapras. It looked cute. It had a cool typing of both water and ice, both being my favorite types, and was almost overhunted to extinction? Who would hunt these beautiful Nessie Pokemon? Come on! You can use them as a boat, but at the same time having it as a pet. Freaking cute. They are gentle, intelligent creatures, and they sing in the evening searching for others of its kind. It's so sad. This was one of my main tanks in Leaf Green, being amazing while looking damn cute with its water and ice moves. Why did this Pokemon have to be so freaking cute? Destined to be the #1 breeding Pokemon in later generations, this cute little Pokemon was so rare in all but 1 generation that it had to be given to you before X and Y introduced it into the wild. There's a theory among fans that due to its ever-changing DNA, Evie was almost hunted to extinction, and so with every generation you only got 1 Evie. Until later on in Generation 6, which a lot of people think that it was because of the rules of only having 1 Evie per person, the population grew again. Which is kind of sweet, and also pretty sad. Did the population grow steady enough so they could be found in the wild again? I don't know, but it's a theory I do like. Evie is that kind of Pokemon you would just love to have as a pet, even with the prospects of having it evolve into practically anything. But a bottle of fluff is my pick for favorite evolution, if you could call it that, for this gen. Whenever I played the red version, I always wanted to capture a freaking fire pony. But alas, you could only get it late in the game. Thank you, Game Freak. I always stuck to 1 or 2 powerhouses so I could destroy my enemies back in the day, without even thinking about type advantages nor doing nothing of the sort. I wanted nothing more than to annihilate everyone in my path. But if I had the chance to indulge in Pokemon I wanted that appeared late in the game, it would be Rapidash. Just look at it. A fire unicorn. Who doesn't want that? It loves to run across open fields and likes to compete with other fast runners. A Rapidash's mane grows longer as it runs up to 150 miles per hour. Seriously, this is the Pokemon equivalent of the DeLorean. based on the fiery steed of Helios turned into a unicorn. This awesome equine is also the Pokefan Club's president's favorite Pokemon, even though he does sound quite weird. Too bad I couldn't get a Ponyta until the Pokemon Mansion. My 6 or 7-year-old self couldn't get her little pony. I'll be honest here, having rare Pokemon are only worth it if they are amazing, which they rarely are. What about a freakishly rare type of Pokemon? There were only 3 available in that generation. Even the Pokédex entry says it's a Mirage Pokemon because of how rare it is. This rare blue beauty is Dragonair, known to change climate conditions and based on the Japanese or Chinese dragons that bring forth good luck. Along with being based on that one task from the Princess Kaguya tale, this Pokemon just drips legendary, despite it not being a legendary Pokemon. You know what I mean. It's such a graceful dragon Pokemon whose beauty cannot be matched. I was so lucky in catching a Dratini and evolving it into a Dragonair in my Leaf Green playthrough, where it demolished Lance's dragons. Eat my eyes, you cheating bastard! It would be so bad on my part to not add this guy. The second most easily recognizable mouse in the world. Pikachu is the very mascot of the Pokemon franchise. He was even the Japanese soccer mascot from last year's FIFA. Back in the day, Pikachu was that worthwhile catch that would make your battle against Misty a whole lot easier if you chose Charmander or maybe Squirtle, along with your rival in Lorelei. I didn't catch one in Red, but I definitely got one in Leaf Green and kicked so much ass, despite evolving it into Raichu. This little electric rat is everywhere in the anime since he is Ash's companion, and even had its own spin-off game for the N64 and its own special yellow version for those twats that didn't get into Pokemon until the anime came out in the States. But that isn't the reason why Pikachu is so high on the list. Like I said, my Pikachu kicked a lot of ass when it was on my team. He's adorable, and I like him. Which one of us didn't have those Pikachu dolls that had their cheeks like spark and it talked to you when you pressed its hand? So cute! Who here loves science? We get cool things like magnetism and inverted Pokeballs, slime, and genetically engineered tanks of death! I couldn't leave him out of my list. Mewtwo was the original hidden and OP prize after any trainer finished the game. You trained hard, battled against the best of the best, and now your next and final challenge waited for you in the mysterious Cerulean cave. This was your prize. This was the last thing you had to do. The nostalgia factor is also present with this beast. With the first film being about him being pissed at humanity for creating him without a purpose. Unless you've seen the original opening, learning how any form of life is precious and that what you do with your gift will define you, not your origin, is just badass to me. He was also the first Pokemon to appear in the opening title of the anime. Without mentioning, I used to have a crush on him when I was a kid.
この湖は今まで見たどの湖よりも美しい。だが私にこの湖を美しいと感じる資格があるのか。
I was a weird kid, leave me alone. You know, let me start with a little story. When playing the first generation, be it the original or the Gen 3 remakes, you have a difficult choice to make. Whether to choose the fire starter, the grass starter, or the water starter. This will define your whole game indefinitely. From the rare choice, Bulbasaur, to the overly hyped Charmander, stop it! Another chose the little but quite defensive Squirtle. Game Freak cleverly hid the difficulty settings in these 3 Pokemon, but my number 1 choice for favorite Gen 1 Pokemon is the last evolution of my very first Pokemon. a tank! The cannons on its back can punch holes through thick steel and concrete walls, and it uses its weight to reduce recoil damage. It is a literal tank! Forget Charizard, Blastoise will beat the living shit out of you. Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, Surf, Strength. My Blastoise took me all the way through the Elite Four in Leaf Green and in the original Red, kicking so much ass with its awesomeness. This Water Tortoise's badassery increased when Pokemon Origins came out with Green's Blastoise. It gave no f***s even when Charizard punched him in the face. Revenga! I of course chose Squirtle when Gen 6 came out. Come on, it's a nostalgia factor. Squirtle was my boy. He's my baby. Even if I'm not that big of a fan of its Mega Evolution, I still chose him. I mean, come on! Arm cannons, baby! I love you, Blastoise. So there you have it, my top 10 favorite Gen 1 Pokemon. I know there will be people who will disagree with my choices, so put your own top 10 or maybe top 5 in the comments below. With that, I thank you again for watching. This has been GutsLove, and I'll see you next time. Take care of you nerds.